Algebra 1, welcome to lesson 1.3, solving equations with variables on both sides of the equal sign. Your objective, write this down in your notes. Students will be able to write and solve equations with a variable on both sides of the equal sign to solve problems. Let's get started.
All right, sample problem. Number 1, write this down. 5 times 2x plus 6 equals 8x plus 48. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to distribute because I see parentheses here. This is 5 times 2x, which is 10x. 5 times positive 6, which is positive 30. I have 8x plus 48. Now that they're distributed, I'm going to remember I should have drawn my line. So if I'm going to try to eliminate something from one side of the equal sign, I have to do the same action to both sides. So real quick, I'm going to move the x, one of the x terms. So I have 8x and 10x. I'm going to move the smaller number. So if I subtract 8x from both sides, I get 8x minus 8x is 0. 10x minus 8x, that's 10 minus 8 is 2x's, plus 30. I did that so I can have a positive number here, so it's easier to deal with. Okay, now I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides. I'm trying to get the x by itself or alone on one side of the equal sign. So I'm left with 2x equals 18. I have 2 times x, so I need division. That's division right there. Divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is x. 18 divided by 2 is 9. Sample problem number 2. It's very similar to the last one we just did. Negative 3 times parentheses 8 plus 3h equals 5h plus 4. So I drew my line first this time because I remembered. Now I'm going to distribute this negative 3 first. So remember it's a negative 3. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Negative 3 times positive 3h is negative 9h. That equals 5h plus 4. Which one's smaller? Well, we would think 5 is, but it's not. Negative 9 is smaller than 5. So I am going to add 9h to both sides. And I get negative 24 equals 14h plus 4. Now I have h over here. I'm going to move everything to the other side. I'm going to do the inverse operation of addition. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides so I can get rid of that 4. I have negative 28 equals 14h. This is 14 times h, so I'm going to do divided by to get rid of the 14. Divide both sides by 14. 14 divided by 14 is 1. I get h equals negative 28 divided by positive 14 is negative 2. Final answer. Negative divided by positive means negative. Sample problem number 3. Very similar to the last ones we've done. We're going to go a little quicker. First thing I do is distribute here. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite my equation. 2 times 4x is 8x. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16. I'm going to subtract 8x from both sides. Uh-oh, this is weird. 8x minus 8x is 0. Then I have negative 4 equals negative 16. We don't have any variables. Do you see the problem with this? Pause and think about it. I'll tell you what the problem is. Negative 4 and negative 17 are not the same number. Therefore, they cannot be equal, which means there is no solution. There's no number that I can plug in for 4. Or excuse me, let me back that up. There's no number I can plug in for x to make this equation true. Nothing I plug in. If I do 1, I get 8 minus 4 is 4 over here. And I get 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Does 4 equal negative 8? No. Doesn't matter what I plug in for x, I will always get a statement that doesn't make sense, like this, negative 4 equaling negative 16. That's just not true. So there is no solution to this equation. Sometimes the answer is no solution. Let's see what happens this time. So I'm going to draw my line. First thing I'm going to do is distribute. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite my equation on the left because nothing changed. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times positive 4 is positive 8. We have a similar situation to what we just had. And by now you can tell that negative 5 does not equal 8. Therefore, there is no solution And we are done. No solution to this equation here. This is a tricky word problem. It's called a mixture type problem. Arabica coffee costs $28 per pound. Robusta coffee costs $8.75 per pound. How many pounds of Arabica coffee must you mix with 3 pounds of Robusta coffee to make a blend that costs $15.50 per pound? They give you a hint. Organize this information in a table. So here's my table. A stands for Arabica, R stands for Robusta, B is a blend. Okay, I'm going to have my total cost. I'm going to have my cost per pound, and I'm going to have pounds. Okay, how many pounds of Arabica coffee do we need? Well, that's what they're asking. So I don't know. It's a variable for a value that we don't know the answer to. How many pounds of Robusta? 3. Okay. How many total pounds in the blend? Well, it's going to be 3 plus whatever I add from Arabica. Price per pound of Arabica beans, $28. Price per pound of Robusta, 8.75. Price per pound of the blend, that's this one right here, $15.50. That's a 5. Okay, total price is $28 per pound, so $28 times the pounds, which I don't know. For Robusta, 3 times 8.75, that's my total. And for the blend, it's going to be $15.50 times 3 plus X. Those are the pounds, right? So now I have everything I need to solve this equation. We're going to look at the cost. So the cost of my blend is however much I'm putting of Arabica beans plus however much I'm putting in of the Robusta. That's supposed to equal $15.50 per pound, but here's the per pounds. Those are the pounds I'm using. I don't know how many I'm at. So I'm going to simplify, and I'm going to get 28x plus 26.25. That equals 46.5 plus 15.5x. Now I'm going to start moving some things around. I'm going to subtract 26.25 from both sides. And that gives me 28x. These cancel. It gives me 20.25 plus 15.5x. Then I subtract 15.5 from both sides. I don't know if you can tell I'm in soccer practice. It's going to give me 12.5x equals 20.25. And I'm going to divide both sides by 12.5. And so I get 12.5. I feel like I did the math wrong here. Okay, and then I get x equals, did I do something? Maybe I made a mistake. What's 3 times 8.75? Nope, everything's right. 20.25 divided by 12.5 equals 1.62 pounds. You guys probably heard my kid. So the recap, we have a variable on both sides. Remember, distribute first if it calls for it, okay? And I would say stay positive. When you move the variable to try to get it all on one side, try to move it in such a way that you're gonna end up with a positive number, okay? And then finally, make sure you maintain balance in your equation, okay? Whatever you do on the left, you do on the right as far as removing numbers or adding numbers. So your assignment is going to be on page 22 to 23. You're going to do numbers 12, 16 through 40, and take a crack at number 50. If you have any questions, you need help, you know how to get a hold of me. Take care.